Good morning, students. Here we start with the gross anatomy of lesser sac, part 3. In segment 3, we are going to discuss the gross anatomy of lesser sac, the interior, which is very interesting and very important. In the interior of the lesser sac, here we show, now we go through, first we show over here the epiploic foramen. After showing the epiploic foramen, this is the epiploic foramen, we show an arrow horizontally. Then we show superior recess, and at the level of superior recess on the left hand side we show a fold. This is superior gastropancreatic fold, and then over here we shall then show at this level splenic recess. Now this is the splenic recess, and then lower down we shall complete this entire inferior recess of lesser sac, and here this is the lesser sac entire, and then here we are going to show there will be presence of, at this level there will be presence of another fold, and this fold is the inferior gastropancreatic fold. Remember, we are showing the interior of lesser sac, and this is the diagram how we show the interior of lesser sac. Now just outside to that lesser sac, in segment 2 we have understood the different levels, so those structures we need to draw. For example, here we will show this is the right colic flexure, right margin. Over here we will show this as the first part of duodenum. Similarly, over here we shall show at this level the left colic flexure. Over here we are going to show the hilum of the spleen, and this is the spleen. Then at this level we are going to show cardiac end of stomach. So therefore here we are going to show this as the cardiac end of the stomach. Now, as of, this is the interior of the lesser sac, this is the right margin, and of course we had understood in segment 2 the right colic flexure and first part of duodenum. They were the important landmarks of the right margin of lesser sac. Similarly, on the left margin of lesser sac, the important landmarks were left colic flexure, that is the level of transverse colon, and cardiac end of stomach. And in between we are showing a recess that is directed to the hilum of the spleen. This recess is called the splenic recess. And now the entire interior of lesser sac has presence of two main sickle shaped folds. Now here the folds will be sickle shaped. These two folds which I have shown, the right gastropancreatic fold, first let us name this fold, this one as the right gastropancreatic fold, or it is also known as inferior gastropancreatic fold. And this fold over here, let us name this as the left gastropancreatic fold, or it is also known as superior gastropancreatic fold. They are sickle shaped folds which are present within the cavity of lesser sac, and these sickle shaped folds are directed in its opposite direction. For example, the left gastropancreatic fold will be directed downwards to the right, and the right gastropancreatic fold is directed upwards and to the left. And remember, they are sickle shaped. So here I am showing they are sickle shaped. In this way they are directed, sickle shaped in the interior. Now both the folds are raised because of underlying arteries, and those arteries will be on the right hand side, that is inferior gastropancreatic fold or right gastropancreatic fold will have the presence of, below that there will be presence of hepatic artery. And here this fold, just beneath that fold there will be presence of another artery, and that artery will be the left gastric artery. So superior gastropancreatic fold or left gastropancreatic fold will be raised by left gastric artery, and the inferior gastropancreatic fold or right gastropancreatic fold will be raised by the hepatic artery. Please note down these two arteries, and you have to mark also this one will be the hepatic artery. Please mark it. and this will complete the diagram, and this is the left gastric artery. Here we complete this diagram. Now, these two folds, sickle-shaped folds, their free margins are directed towards each other, and therefore they will form an upper aperture inside the lesser sac. This aperture, because of the sickle-shaped free margins which are projected towards each other in the interior, because of these margins, sickle-shaped margins which are projected in the interior of the lesser sac, the entire space of lesser sac at this level, if I show with this chalk, this space will have an aperture. And this aperture at this level within the interior of lesser sac will be known as foramen bursa ommenti majoris. So the name of this aperture will be foramen bursa ommenti majoris. Foramen bursa ommenti majoris. Sometimes one mark question answer. What is foramen bursa ommenti majoris? Nothing, it is a small aperture which is present within the interior of lesser sac, and that aperture is produced because the sickle-shaped free margins of the left and right gastropancreatic folds will come and approximate with each other, and so therefore they will have a narrow aperture in between these two folds, and that narrow aperture within the interior of lesser sac is known as foramen bursa ommenti majoris. What is the importance of this foramen bursa ommenti majoris? It will divide the entire interior of lesser sac into, where my hand is there, superior recess, the space which is lying above this foramen, superior recess, and the space which is lying below this foramen, and this one will be known as the inferior recess. This much space is known as inferior recess. So the presence of foramen bursa ommenti majoris will divide the interior of lesser sac into the space lying above, superior recess of lesser sac, and the space lying below, inferior recess of lesser sac. This entire inferior recess of lesser sac. And third recess, the splenic recess, which is directed towards the hilum of the spleen. And where is this splenic recess located? Right margin or left margin? Left margin. So these are the recesses which are located within the interior of the lesser sac. Superior recess, inferior recess, the splenic recess. And remember now, the epiploic foramen. So many times we have discussed that the epiploic foramen is a small foramen, which is also called foramen of Winslow, which will connect the cavity of greater sac with that of the lesser sac. And therefore it will have a horizontal passage. And that horizontal passage here, if I mark with this arrow, this horizontal passage is also known as the vestibule. This is known as the vestibule. So this vestibule, that epiploic foramen, vestibule of lesser sac, will communicate on the right hand side. Now what comes on the right hand side? We know, greater sac. But which portion of greater sac? Hepatorenal pouch of greater sac. So therefore the hepatorenal pouch of greater sac on the right hand side is communicated to the cavity of lesser sac on the left hand side through epiploic foramen, and that horizontal passage is called vestibule. And finally, we remember the two important folds in the interior of lesser sac. These two folds are within the interior of lesser sac, and how they are projected, that is what we have shown in the diagram. The right or inferior gastropancreatic fold is projected basically upwards to the left, and the left or superior gastropancreatic fold is projected downwards to the right. And both these folds are, because of underlying structures, the arteries, hepatic artery and the left gastric artery. And their sickle-shaped margins projecting interiorly, their free margins within the interior, they will come and approximate each other in such a way that they will leave some space, one foramen-like space, one aperture-like space, which is called foramen bursa ommenti majoris. And the area, the interior of lesser sac above this foramen will be superior recess, and the area below the interior of lesser sac will be inferior recess, with the presence of splenic recess here towards the hilum of the spleen. So here we finish the interior of lesser sac. These folds are asked in MCQs or 1 mark question answers. Please understand this diagram, and here we complete our gross anatomy of the lesser sac. Thank you very much.